welcome to Reece Chat. This is a show where I get different people to come on and talk about different things. In this episode, we'll be meeting Hannah. They're a university student at Staffordshire University, studying cartoon and comic art. So let's meet Hannah now. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Reece.
You all right? How are you?
I'm dandy, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So, of course, one thing to note is we've known each other for a long time, too long. So, but what's the reason you're not on video?
Well, you know me personally, and establishing myself in the industry, I want to. How can I put it? I don't want my employability. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
To be based on my gender. So online, I go by gender neutral terms, and I use a different name than my actual name, so that I basically don't want people to find my personal life. I kind of want to keep the art separate from my personal life. Like, it's just going to be my job. It's not going to be like, I am passionate about it, but I just don't want it to be my whole life. Like, you see some people where, like, some artists, everyone knows everything about them, and I don't want to be like that. So I just don't want people to know me personally.
Now we've discussed that, you're studying cartoon and comic art, so tell us a little bit about that. What's that like?
Do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to sugarcoat it?
Be completely honest, this is what this show is about.
Okay. Don't get me wrong.
I was just going to say,
it is an interesting.
Of course, the courses vary in different places, and you're at Staffordshire University, that's right, isn't it?
Yes. Don't get me wrong, it is a good course, and like if that's the kind of thing you want to do, I would encourage you to look into it, but I'd also encourage you to look at other places too, and like really look at the facilities that they offer you and ask about all the modules and stuff, because like I do 2 modules a semester. They're set modules. I know other courses at other unis you have to pick modules, but ours are just all preset. But I'll be completely honest with you. In my personal opinion, I do think the course is a bit outdated and it kind of does need an overhaul. Okay. But it has. I feel like, especially over the last year, that my skill has developed very quickly, and once you build up friends and stuff, it's kind of like a nice atmosphere. So if anyone wants to do that kind of thing, like, just make sure you really do look into your options, because I know there are not many comic courses. When I applied, there was like 3, including this one. So there might be more now, but just like really look into your choices and options.
So at least a positive, isn't it? Because you said that your skills have developed quite quickly over, the period of time that you've been there.
My skills, I feel like it's developed through my personal work, not so much uni. They do a lot of stuff that, for me personally, didn't interest me. So I struggled a lot, which is why I said the course is kind of a bit outdated, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Because you said it's a bit outdated, so how would you change it to be more relevant, I suppose? I know it's a bit of a big question just to literally throw at you, but is there any ideas? Because obviously art's very interpretive.
It's more about the pacing of stuff. Like, for example, one of my modules last semester was we had to create a visual novel. Now, this is something that we've had to do because of the pandemic. So it's kind of the lecturers were thrown in at the deep end. I'll give them that. But we didn't really have much to do at the beginning, and then a lot of us found ourselves, by the end of it, we were really overwhelmed by how intense it got all of a sudden. It wasn't sort of a gradual build-up. It was just suddenly there was all this stuff to do, and we were like, whoa, what's going on? Another thing that I would fix would be the kind of content that they give us in our lectures. Me personally, I'm a visual learner, and I don't feel like they the lectures online. I know it's hard because these are trying times, but they don't really engage me. They don't really grab my attention span, and I really do struggle. And most of the time, I just look on Blackboard for the PowerPoint and the work that we're supposed to do for the session, and I leave and I just go and do that.
So I know that there was one uni project that you did not too long ago that I got involved with. You asked me to do a voice for one of the characters.
Yeah.
And that was uni work, wasn't it? That wasn't personal.
Yeah, that was uni work. That was my visual novel that was called Transmutation, based off of Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. I think that is still on a website, you know. It was one of those modules that was thrown together because we couldn't do the module that we were supposed to do. So
Right.
in this one, what we ended up doing, I can't remember off the top of my head what we were supposed to do. Instead, we ended up making a visual novel, which means basically we had to learn a new program called Tyranno Builder, and in that we had to create our own visual novel. But obviously, there's all the art aspect around it. There's all the character designs. There's a story. It had to be multiple choice as well, so you had to have different routes. And it sounds exhilarating to begin with. You get pumped. You're like, oh yeah, this is going to be really cool.
I'm going to ask you something now, and I just want to hear your response, because I know it's something that a lot of people do say, and maybe even people in your position like agree with, who are going to university and getting degrees and all that sort of things in this. But can you? I suppose the question is, can you really be taught art, or have you just kind of got the skill? Obviously, people learn how to draw and to paint and kind of gets better with practice, but at the end of it, I'm in no way challenging this at all, or even saying that I agree with it, but is a degree useful in art?
Honestly, I wouldn't know how to answer that question because I do not know people. I don't know any people. This is going to sound really bad, but I don't know people who have an art degree. Like some people get like fine art and stuff, but I feel like cartoon and comic arts is a really, really specific degree. I did it mostly because school kind of pushed us towards uni. And I also didn't really have any clue what I wanted to do when we left school. So I felt, God, like uni was the next step. And I was like, well, they always go on about how can you make yourself stand out against other people who are going for a job. And I was like, well, I guess uni is that next step. I mean, I would like to pursue this. Like, I do know for definite that I want to make my own stories and I want to do drawing because that's all I ever did for like a time. And I really enjoyed doing it. It's nice, but like now I'm faced with the how am I going to break into the industry? Like being at uni, it gets me a degree in cartoon and comic arts. We also end up with connections to people in the industry. Like my course has connections to people, and like I'm sure if I just go, oh yeah, I was on this course at this uni, they go, oh yeah, cool, okay, and that's kind of like you kind of get ahead of some people in that aspect. But having that degree will hopefully give me an edge over people because it's like you have experience, you have a nice portfolio, but I also have a nice portfolio and I have a degree and I've had 3 years of, practicing.
So something you mentioned earlier was keyboard smash. Tell us a little bit about that. What is it?
Keyboard Smash is currently my group name for what I'm doing in my current module.
Okay.
So what we're doing in my current module is we have to produce a comic anthology in groups, and I have to draw a minimum of 12 beautiful comic pages. So we have to become, in our groups, a publishing house, and we have to manage social media sites and promote our comic. My group is called Keyboard Smash, which is a band of 4 lovely individuals, you will adore them, who we're drawing their adventure and their life together before their debut as a band. So it's basically, it's a fake band without the music. So if you want to follow Keyboard Smash, I will send you the links to our, I've forgotten the name, our social links. And you can give us a follow and you can watch out for really cool art and buy our comic, please.
If nothing was an obstacle, you could burst into the industry and do it. What is that thing?
Well, if I could burst into the industry, I don't think it'd be as simple as getting this what I want straight away. And I think it'd be really boring if I got what I wanted straight away. But I think a more realistic approach of what I'm gonna do after I graduate uni is I'm gonna ask around, gonna ask my lecturers and stuff, okay, so how would you get into the industry? I'm gonna start asking how I'm gonna put a professional portfolio together. My own comic that I've been planning for absolutely eons. I'm going to start refining that and putting it into a pitch. Basically, I'm going to try and put this pitch together, but I'm going to try and get small stuff working for comic companies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to go with that yet, but trying to get small stuff and then eventually go freelance and self-publish and get mega stonks would be the dream.
Brilliant. Well, I suppose there's one question I'm going to ask now. Would you do anything differently?
The only thing I maybe would have done different is I wouldn't have eaten that chicken on my freshers week and got food poisoning and not had my freshers week. But that's really the only thing.
No. So, Hannah, is there anything at all you'd like to say before we do go? Because we're coming to the end now.
I would like to say, don't give me that power, actually.
Right, well, you know what I'm going to say now. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been really interesting talking to you. I want to say thank you to everyone that has been watching. Stay safe, be kind, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.